It's going to have to be closer so she can see. So we're going to put 3 stitches in to do the round. I'm trying to go slow. Pull that a little bit. I'm going to loop around my finger like that, up through the hole. Okay, now I'm going to unpin it, because I only need it to hold while I'm doing those first stitches. Okay, now I have 3 stitches. This is going to be my center, the whole thing. So I'm going to pull it around to the end stitch. You see that? I gotta pull the runner pretty tight to get it around. I'm sure it's staying there. If I move my hand out, you gotta follow with the camera. Okay, so I'm gonna put another stitch in that hole, otherwise it's gonna be a big hole. I'm gonna increase every stitch for the first couple of rows. And increase means each stitch has 2 parts, like a T. See, there's a T there, and there's one side of the T and the other side. So usually you're just going to put the stitch here, but when you increase, you're going to put 1 stitch here and 1 stitch here. So one on each side of what looks like a T, and sometimes you have to kind of wiggle to find it. There it is. Okay, it's hard to see because it's all in my hand, but maybe you can get that. Okay, so we're just going to keep going around. I'm putting 2 in that one. All the way around I'm putting 2 in each stitch for the first couple of rows. After that you can kind of see where there's a big space, you'll need to put 2 stitches, and if there's not, just 1. And on rounds for about the first 10 rows, you're going to do a lot of increasing. It's a lot of pulling and tugging because you're working in such a tight little spot as you get around. I'm back to the beginning of where I pulled that stitch around, so it feels kind of funny there, but you just keep going as if it's a normal stitch. It'll look funny, but as you come around it, it'll see how that's so long? When you see, and in this one I've already told you that you're going to increase twice in each one, but when you see long stitches like that as you go, that's where you're that's where you definitely want to make increases. This is where the 2 ends came together, so it really is tough to find 2 sides to that stitch because it's not a normal stitch, but just wiggle in. It doesn't have to be perfect, just wiggle in 2 stitches into that one. And as I come around this one, then I'm going to have a circle, and you'll be able to tell that. Get in there. It just is a blob, and I'm looking at the screen on my phone where Amber's recording. I know it just looks like a blob of stuff, so I'm hoping you can tell. I'm going to show you one more time on here. See, there's the straight part, there's 2 sides to that. The bar across the top, and then the T coming down. I want to put a stitch on either side of that T, and that's called the increase. Oops, I think you might be too close.
There we go, that's better. You can actually see the stitches.
And then the other side. Alright, see, it's starting to look like a circle already. And if I was making this into a rug, I would change this color now. Alright, there you go.
Press that.